the Swiss stage. The losers' backs will be against the wall because another loss means that they are out of playoff contention. So this is a very important matchup here today.
I'm still thinking about how many Diet Cokes Palafox has had.
Yeah, we never got confirmation. We had a lot of time there to ask him.
We need an investigative reporter here.
You know what? I'm going to even guess. I don't think production told anybody. I think they just ignored that request.
What the?
Yeah.
They ignore us sometimes.
I just heard one of the producers over here say, "Whoa,
that's crazy."
Yeah.
I don't think they do that.
I think they might have had other things on their mind.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they were just sleeping.
All right, so early game here. Ward dropped down from Sentinels to try and track XU's jungle pathing. It will be cleared out with the sweeper that Ignar will start with, and that means Sentinels will have this forward position in the bot lane brush.
Okay. Honestly, I do kind of want to see how that early lane goes down there. Yeah, let's stay down there because they're trying to harass the Alistar early on while he's level 1 at the weakest point, but it's also weird because Yunara, if she has access to the wave stacking up Q, then she's quite strong.
Yep.
So stack up the Q here, and FBI can take care of business. Rahel and Huhi have both brush warded and are going to be able to get the early jump on this wave. Try and utilize this to get their level 2 advantage. Nice little bit of damage here on Ignar as well.
It's the classic Alistar, though.
Okay.
It's almost impossible to get that level 2 first. But actually, right now, I think that they will be able to match that. So that means Rahel and Huhi will miss that little window where they're stronger.
Yeah, I think it looks pretty good for them, though, for Rahel and Huhi. Handling it nicely. Both junglers, by the way, are pathing away from bottom, so that's why we're watching this so closely. Is going to be quite meaningful down here. Both junglers pathing towards this Renekton Gwen matchup that we were hyping up. Photon on his signature champion. That's what I'm going to go with instead of Pocket.
Signature champion. I like that's a good one. That's a good one. He does get the shove in. And another reason we're looking at the bot lane so much is because, first off, an engage right now from Ignar. As Rahel takes a huge chunk, has to walk away. FBI and Ignar will not full commit to that one. They'll just win the trade. But it's the reunion of Dignitas, or bringing back FBI and Ignar alongside Palafox. This was the core of that energy roster. We've talked about this a lot before, but a reminder that they've played under Jonathan, a GM, previously for Golden Guardians, but then on the CLG energy run here. And now only a couple of pieces have kind of moved from that winning formula.
Yes, they have moved, and they just arrived. So honestly, this is like a brand new team here for Dignitas. You see that 0-1 at the top of the screen? It's different guys.
Inauthentic, reflection.
They did definitely, it was super duper a loss, though.
Yeah. Super duper.
Yeah,
Not just super. We throw the duper in there as well, as XU right now finds himself in some super duper trouble.
At least the lane phase was. And you can tell lane phase already this time around looking quite
really
decent.
Doing this? We're just throwing all the answers to the Diet Cokes. That's what I'm hearing this was.
Why you started this? Why are you disappointed? I think it's kind of cool.
Yeah?
Yeah, because now people are going to speculate. If he makes a bad play, they're going to be like, that was a one Diet Coke play.
True.
And then he pops off, they're like, that's like 20 Diet Cokes right there.
Become a rating scale.
He's cracked.
Yeah. All right, well, right now, XU only has his bot lane to play with him as Hambach and Darkwings are roaming down, fighting for the Scuttle Crab. Can be feared up by Hambach right now. Rahel's still low on the health bars. FBI has to flash away. XU flashes the wall as well. Dignitas pushed away from the Scuttle Crab.
Yeah, mid lane roam means everything. Roam down there for Darkwings. Now, Darkwings actually did not get any takedowns, obviously. No kills here or anything. So he ends up losing out. When you leave your lane, it does greatly reduce your passive stacking for your quest. And not only that, but also Azir gets the free shove in the whole wave and gets to go for a nice recall there for Palafox. So Darkwings will keep track of the quest and see if that ends up being meaningful. If he, Palafox hits it a little early and then there's some kind of power spike with the boots and is able to actually utilize that, because usually in Azir versus Orianna, Azir level 6, going to look for a lot of these all-ins, going to look to burn Orianna flashes, and if you have Azir plus Wukong here, then maybe they'll be able to look for some kills. And even with an Alistar roaming around, Ignar He was always one of the supports that roamed the most of any. So if he gets over to mid lane, oftentimes you're really looking to burn through Orianna flashes over and over so that Azir can put that threat of the shuffle.
Props to Darkwings for not missing out on too much CS, though. He was able to catch a lot of that wave. Both mid laners TP back, so still even there. Top lane, also despite Photon getting the push on impact early, has kind of equalized. So we really do see Sentinels, you know, in a pretty solid position currently, with bottom lane being the one area that has a bit of a lead over their opponents. As Photon hits level 6, goes for the all-in onto impact, but won't actually full commit onto that one, just throws out the needlework. We'll trade for the Dominus.
Photon feeling pretty good here on his champ.
Oh, the Ignite to stop the bag.
Pretty
Wants
good.
to keep impact in lane.
He doesn't have jungle coming or anything, but it is going to make impact second guess that, and is under a bit of pressure here, keeping the wave towards the middle of the lane.
And maybe this can get in the head of Sentinels. We see Hambach heading towards his bottom side, level 5 on the Nocturne, so we're not ready for the paranoia yet. As XU's also down here, FBI and Ignar getting aggressive onto Rahel. Response flash, as he also has to burn the summoner spell. So it's both flashes down in Sentinel's bot lane, as XU now spotted by Hambach in the river. 3v3, as FBI will just start hitting the wave and push this out.
Man, Yunara with Q charged up. It just feels so fun, too. You feel so powerful with it. They got a lot of pressure here. 2 flashes for 1, as you say. See if they're going to be getting sort of repeat once that Wukong is level 6, because both junglers closing in on this critical breakpoint. Nocturne, of course, is going to hit it a little bit earlier because XU was walking over there. And the lane is there, but the Kai'Sa recalled, so maybe there won't be such a big deal about that timing window.
Hambach just hit it right there off of the buff, and he's heading back towards this dragon. He had started it when the scrap happened bot side, then he peeled off of it. Now with level 6 and mid lane even backing him up, it seems like Sentinels will be able to secure the first Drake of the game. XU hits 6, but won't be nearby. He's actually not even walking towards that dragon to spot it out. Instead, just going to go for his Raptor. So Hambach ahead in the clear and faster to the objective on the Nocturne. Not too shabby.
All right, we'll see which level 6 jungler gets the bigger impact, the bigger gank. Bottom lane, of course, both AD carries are flashless. They still have their barriers to try and work with if they do get ganked, but having no flash, definitely very vulnerable down there. Right now, though, Raptors first on the menu.
XU's going to walk up and spot Hambach securing his own, as we also had Ignar hovering around there. So multiple members of Dignitas were hovering that mid lane. They are not able to find a window, though, to capitalize. And Hambach's just back to safely clearing his own camps.
Okay. Both on top side here. Photon's Ignite almost back up, by the way. Ooh. And they can repeat kind of look here. He's got his ultimate ready. Void Grebs are spawning, so the winner of that fight will get some pretty decent rewards.
Yeah.
Just because there's no dragon corresponding to the Void Grubs. I think if you ever have the choice between the two, you go for dragons, but if there's no choice, if they're the only thing up on the map, then you get the extra bonus there, and Impact's constantly under pressure.
Hambach right now hovering the mid lane as XU's clearing out that last camp before heading towards that top river. Palafox will walk into the brush to get a ward down. Has to flash from Hambach, who was lying in wait. So Sentinels get a free summoner spell and a chunk on Dig's mid lane.
They're yoinking at least one of the grubs right now, though. So during that time, XU, I believe, is burning one down. He has a smite ready, so he should just smite at least one of them. Yeah.
So he gets the one, gets out, but with Darkwings and Hambach threatening the kill onto Palafox, that will still be 2 in favor of them, plus that earlier Drake. So I'd say early game, feeling comfortable for Sentinels right now. It's basically dead even in gold. It's just those objectives that are in one side's favor.
Okay, and Photon and Impact traded ults on top side again, preemptively for that grub fight. But yeah, walking in, just the chunk of damage from Nocturne, plus blowing the flash off of Azir is enough for Sentinels. They've got the dragon, they've got the 2 grubs versus 1 grub. Sentinels feeling pretty decent about the opener here.
Checking the boxes and looking good doing it. I'll say some things that I had kind of noted from week number 1. Again, you had even said it's tough to have champ pool issues in best of 3s Fearless. Darkwing's looking pretty good on the Orianna here, just in laning phase. He already started roaming with Hambach before level 6. Now that they both have their ults, now is when I'm going to start actually putting the magnifying glass on them to say, how do they start utilizing that? We haven't seen the big play yet, but I feel like we're just kind of waiting for them to find that window, to find that avenue in. The Darkwings will go for another reset, teleport back into lane. The Knock Wave is a very, very powerful tool, as they've already started the early dragon stacking. 2 minutes for that next one.
Especially versus Zero with no flash. So
yeah, they don't even have to wait for the dragon.
You can put that pressure on him pretty heavily. It looks like we have the jungle invade though, so I like this early warding before the dragon even gets there. You see on the bottom side of the map, XU as well as Ignar working together. Defensive wards are going to see him though, and so Huhi and Rahel are able to get back in time here for the minion wave. Still though, turret plate money to FBI, and the second turret plate is so close to going down. One more hit.
Really smart move there from Photon. It was a subtle moment, but because XU was spotted by that ward, I was worried, thinking, okay, Nocturne topside, is Photon going to be in danger? He walked all the way back. He said, my jungler's in the bottom half of the map. I'm not going to greed for this forward wave. And he actually avoids a potential gank there from Hambach. And Photon in general has just really impressed me as a top laner, man. Like last week on the Cassante, on the Kennen, both of those looked like he was kind of the rock on the team. And even last summer when he came in, it was like a breath of fresh air for Dignitas having this top laner.
There we go.
Now he's got his jungler behind him. Impact, slice and dice, throws up the Dominus, has flash available, and XU will go in with the Cyclone. Impact in trouble. Big heal, though, with the Q. First blood, the Photon traded back 1-for-1.
So it's first blood actually is going to give you the bonus gold again and assist money on that kill. So a lot of extra gold to the side of Dig. Even though it's 1-for-1, you get the extra bonus for assist as well as the first blood. Meanwhile, though, the extra pressure on the other side of the map, another turret play here. This one goes over the Darkwings. They still have control, so okay answer here from Sentinels on the other side. Still definitely worth for Dignitas. That is Trinity Force on the Wukong, as well as Photon here finishing his first item. And take a look. I mean, not much to re-go over. They hit the slow off the ultimate. That's enough for XU to go in. Goes ult. He is taking tower though, and so Impact stunned. Does good. He gets his heal off his Q, and he gets his stun in tower range, and so he does get his trade kill.
Yeah, and as Dragon started here by Sentinels, I also want to highlight that that was a 1-for-1 for Impact in a 1v2. This is what he was known for back in the day. And last year, not the best showing from Impact. We kind of memed about it, you know, worst year ever for him as a player, stats-wise, versus his MVP year the year before. So we actually made this graph of like, where is he right now, currently based on last week, and already here. I wanted to lean like 6, maybe 7. I landed on 6. As the final score in terms of like worst year ever to MVP.
You get like 2 6-7s per day, okay?
Well, okay, the first one was not mine. That was Chat's.
Okay.
That was Chat's, and just me echoing it for them. As a dive comes in from Ignar right now here on the Rahel, all alone under the turret, as Ignar will tank up all the shots. FBI with the kill credit.
Okay, well, bottom side of the map is just going to get destroyed now. They're going to push very heavily on this one. Extra money off this turret plate. The Dignitas here with the intended roster, Kangas.
Yep.
Making some gold leads for themselves. Even though they're losing out significantly on the objectives, they are getting some gold in the areas that they want, and namely Yunara here. FBI on Yunara. Kraken Slayer is done. Has a decent little lead for himself, and that champ definitely has the capabilities here to carry as long as you don't get hit by the Orianna Nocturne combination.
And on top of that, he had gone for the call to match Rahel. So even though they were kind of accepting, yeah, we're just going to be farming and getting our gold that way, he's able to pick up that kill as well and now start to accelerate himself. Now that he's hit that power spike, MasterCard is rewarding card holders with their chance at $50 in RP. Head to priceless.com/powerspike or click the pinned link in chat for your chance to win. Shout out FBI for giving everybody that little reward there.
Yeah, thanks, buddy.
Yeah.
By the way, for those who didn't watch the pregame, FBI, he wants his brand to be the old player. Yeah, he wants to be old.
One word. So. It was just the one-word response, old.
Okay.
He did laugh afterwards, to his credit, you know, so.
Yeah, well, you say it, and you're stuck with it.
Yeah. I wrote it in my notebooks. Now it's recorded as well.
So I want everybody just spamming old emotes as soon as he makes a misplay. Here we go,
I want everyone looking down at this dive here. Photon in a 1v3 needlework. He fancies himself an outplay. Almost deletes Huhi right there, but will survive. Meanwhile, Impact facing his own dive in the top lane. It's Exu and Palafox this time around. He does survive as well, so 2 dive attempts, but Dignitas go for round 2. Exu, does he have the damage to actually take him down? He does. Dignitas execute the dive.
Yeah, repeat play here with the Alistar ultimate is going to be enough to tank the turret. Easy pickings there for Dignitas. Tower, though. First tower bonus, Kangas, goes over to Sentinels back in the game. First tower bonus, pretty nice. Herald on top of it for Dignitas, including getting the kill, though.
Yeah, I will say that that top turret will also most likely fall here soon. It seems like Palafox is sticking around for it. Right as I say that, he walks away.
The last plates are pretty tough, man.
Yeah.
So they actually already talked about the next patch. They're going to walk back a little bit of the durability of taking consecutive plates. As of right now, the last couple of plates do get pretty hard to take since they do get the stacking buff. And Rift Herald, though, for them, they should be able to use it towards mid lane, knock that sucker down. Bot lane, Photon working on that one pretty nicely. So Dignitas also progressing their turret taking.
Palafox is actually not going for the wave. Spotted out by Darkwings, though. He had Ignar coming around, so Palafox might have actually found an avenue in.
Yeah, a little dangerous for him up there, though. He was messing around on Nocturne's side of the map.
Yeah.
And this is what we're looking at for Champ Select. The Nocturne hovering on the side lanes is going to be a very big issue. Impact's going to have to give this tower up since his jungler is on top side.
Committing onto it right now. The shuffle back. Darkwings was taking up turret. They looked for the knockwave combo, but not going to find the kill. Hambach flashes away. Sentinels, I guess maybe they just didn't see Ignar there. I mean, that's a tough dive onto an Alistar.
That is horrible for them. Not only did they use their first knockwave combination, but they have to both end up flashing out. Palafox is a new APA now, chatting away.
I know, yeah. We gotta come up with a new name for that one.
Hey man, it's okay. You know, you're not able to spell shield as your ult's like inspired. It's all good.
That was a 4 Diet Coke shuffle right there. That's what that one was.
I mean, Nocturne and Orianna both having to flash out after going for that play is so huge because Orianna's weakness is in the part of the game right now where towers are going down on the side lanes, so she can't really side lane. Azir has a lot of authority to go to side lanes, has so much mobility, also has flash advantage, also gonna get the Rift Herald. Where's he going with that sucker though?
That's not your side of the map. Okay, I was worried for a moment. FBI.
Maybe it just the timer ran out and it just popped out.
Maybe that was a miss. Yeah, you know what? We'll ask him later. Either way, the Herald will not charge onto the mid turret. Dragon is up. Sentinels starting up the fight. As Darkwings does not have flash on the Orianna, could be a target right now. Trying to use the ball as a flash forward from Hui to get the engage. That is Dragon secure for Sentinels. They don't need to take the fight. They got the objective. His needlework will come out from Photon. Dignitas are still here. Exu goes back in. Cyclone, the rest of the team's not behind him, though. And Paranoia comes out. No one from Dignitas could follow up. Hambach goes back in. Impact now gets shuffled back, but Rahel found the angle in, finds the kill, and Sentinels get even more as FBI will fall. The Dragon plus a cleanup team fight.
Well, that's just crushing for Dignitas, Kangas. Oh my god, they're gonna want that one back for sure. That is a roughie. Sentinels now commanding this game. Third Dragon already. We're only 18 minutes in and getting all of these kills afterwards. Let's take another look because they even up the flashes too. And so Hui on the Rakan here, creating the space for them to get the Dragon first, and then you're like, okay, well, Dragon's gone. All right, Photon's using his ult, whatever, we're backing off. But no, Exu goes in for it. They get the little bit of peel there, and it's just like, he gets melted. They have nothing to back it up. Hambach goes for the re-engage, and Palafox gets stunned up by Impact, which allows Rahel to just ult in on him. They take out the Azir.
Oh, and we're back to live, and there's even more carnage, Kobe, as Rahel finds another kill, 2-1 and 2. Didn't see how Ignar got into that position, but Sentinels are off to the races now.
Honestly, the race is like half over too. There's the one Dragon coming up in 3.5 minutes. And like they just got so much. The last, what is like 2 minutes of play here for Sentinels, they just absolutely cleaned up because they've got this whole wide map now to make picks, repeat picks with Nocturne Orianna. And, you know, they were down a couple of flashes, but in the last play, they burned both the key ones, Palafox's and FBI's. No Yunara flash, no Azir flash for Dignitas to work with either. So Sentinels, they have full authority to just send a Nocturne Orianna combination on these Dignitas carries.
And now another Nocturne wave!
Yeah.
The Knock wave lands on the 3.
Yeah.
Sentinels find the play. Double kill to Rahel, who he will take one as well. And Baron is on the rift.
I mean, I hate to say it, but like you kind of got what you deserved there, walking around up mid lane with no flash, buddy.
And it's perfect timing. I mean, that was 20 minutes on the clock, as now even Impact is winning the 1v1 on a Photon. Flash over the wall. Impact continues the chase. Needlework for the slow, but in comes Huhi underneath the turret trying to lock him down. But Photon will survive. Doesn't matter. Sentinels, they just wanted the big purple worm, and they got it.
Sentinels!
Yeah.
Okay, they're cooking here in game number 1. Now, let's not go too early here. They still got to finish it. The most important part of the race is the end of the race.
It is the end.
You know,
Have you heard the story of the rabbit and the hare, Kobe?
Whoa.
Pretty sure the rabbit kept getting distracted or something. I actually don't. You know, I bring it up because I don't know. Do you know how it ends? I think the rabbit's like running all over the place and like
thing to remember, slow and steady wins the race, but that's not really true because like really usually like the fastest person wins the race.
Yeah.
But here we go. Nocturne Orianna, as we said, they both have ults, and no flashes, so carries get seen, carries get sent on.
Woo, so good.
So good!
Okay, now they're turn to send.
Now the counter punch from Dignitas as they look at Darkwings, flashes away the shockwave to keep him alive.
Dude.
Oh, Darkwings doesn't go down.
They're scared of the dark.
Yeah.
They turned off the Nocturne. Nocturne turned off the lights, and all Dignitas got scared.
It's spooky, man.
Man.
Have you ever tried to go into a basement with the lights turned off?
Yeah, I mean, I actually love defensive Nocturne ultimates. You know, and it's a little bit of bluffing. It's also like, okay, so Darkwings, you know, he flashed away and then he shockwaved pretty nicely to pull the Wukong a little bit off him. And that's all you need, get that distance. Then with Nocturne vision cut off, like they can't see you anymore.
Yep.
So now they're thinking, well, maybe we overextended. Did we send too much?
Yeah.
Maybe we sent too much.
Is there a Renekton behind them? Is there a Rakan behind them? All these different variables when you don't have that information. Sentinels, though, keeping their mid laner alive. Darkwings has now regrouped with the team. They're sieging mid with their Red Bull Baron power play, and will take down a tier 2 turret there. Immediately rotate down towards the bottom side. They're sticking the crew together. Whew. All right, I will say no flash in Darkwings now means that the next time, if Dignitas find a play like that, boom, they probably get that kill.
You just gotta keep going with it, even if the lights go out.
Yeah.
I know it's scary. Like dark, this is really scary.
Night lamp. Night light. There we go. That's what I was looking for.
There you go.
We're a little past
well,
lamps
the strategy is you hold hands. You know, you got to get a buddy.
Oh, you get the buddy system.
Got to get a buddy to go explore the darkness. This is Dragon Soul Kingdoms, by the way.
This is Dragon Soul uncontested. Dignitas cannot find an avenue in. At least they're not confident enough to walk up and push their way in. Sentinels, they pick it up. 4 dragons in a row at 23 minutes into the game, and they still have Baron for a little longer. So Dignitas, I mean, they're at this point kind of looking for a miracle as the gold lead is well in Sentinel's favor, plus all the stats they get from the dragons.
Well, what are we going to cook up here, Dignitas?
I mean, maybe a counter engage, who he did go in with the quickness.
Let's see. I mean, Azir is 2 items with Flash and Zonya, so maybe Palafox sees a line.
I mean, right there, he goes for it. Right as you call it, Kobe. Shut down on the Darkwings. No flash out time around. Lights go out again. Humbug cannot get the kill onto XU. FBI's unleashed. Flash is over, but Rahel holds his ground. Palafox couldn't quite get in range. Now Impact on a big flank.
Oh my God.
Dignitas have to make fast work on the right side because Impact's coming in. Flash for the kill onto FBI. Palafox feared up by Humbug. Impact knocked up, but Palafox knocked down. Impact with the double kill. Dignitas trying to get their top lane and support out of there. Sentinels with the Dragon Soul are just too strong in these fights. It was a nice look from Dig. They found the pick on the Darkwings, and maybe they actually have more in the tank. Low health bars over Hell and Hambach.
They saw him.
And in comes XU. The Wukong on the flank now. Finds Hambach. Spell Shield can't get the kill. And Impact now trying to play bodyguard, teleport in from Darkwings, who's the first to fall, stunned up on the Photon. And Rahel gets that snipe for the shutdown. Photon now has to flash to safety, and Darkwings can follow it up. Not quite gonna land the command attack.
All right, Genghis, bump your impact meter up a couple notches. Pump that thing up a couple notches, because Impact, he was playing the bodyguard. He was also playing the executioner there at the end. Nicely done. And I respect the move from Dignitas. You know, we're looking at it, we're like, oh man, things are not looking great. Where's the angle? Maybe Palfox could do something, flash with his ear. And they actually started, cook something up, and you have to take your shot to try and get back into the game. But once Impact arrived, he cut off the exit for them, and Sentinels are able to, turn it right back around for themselves. Rahel getting the mana to just fire off one more at the very end. Just also pretty painful for Dignitas.
You know, there's a saying that I like to live by when it comes to League of Legends, and that's sometimes the only way out is in. Dignitas were trying that method out, but much like to my experience, did not quite work for them there, as Sentinels with an even bigger gold lead now. 40 seconds till Baron. They're doing their homework, setting up the vision line, backing to spend their gold. And yeah, it seems like they're just waiting to put the final, touches on this game. Although I will say, reminder, not to maybe, cast or curse anybody, but remember last week when LYON was in a very similar position versus Dig? XU did steal a Baron. So just saying, there's a chance.
Do you have video evidence to back that up?
I did, yes, we streamed the game. We watched it.
Let's watch it again. Pull it up real quick.
I think we do have it actually. So just a reminder for everybody.
Wink, wink,
wink, wink, nudge, nudge. As the Baron has started up right now, Sentinels are immediately on it, and Dignitas are gonna have to find a way.
Okay, so we got Otacon throws last year. Can we get some Baron throws to replace the Otacon throws that we're missing now?
Right now, Sentinels are holding the line here as Impact, again, always threatening, but this time Ignar is there to match him. XU is spotted. He's separated from the rest of the team. Darkwings will see him, the Paranoia to turn the lights off, and that is just Baron secured. It's going to come down to a fight afterwards, and the knockwave on FBI! 80 carry out before the fight even kicks off proper. Huhi knocking up the follow-up of Photon as Impact yet again holding the line. Nice interrupt from XU on Rahel ulting in there, but it is not going to stop him. Domination from the bot laner of Sentinels, and domination from Sentinels as a team. They have played this one clean, and now with their second Baron are looking to close it out.
Okay, Knockwave with Infernal Soul, that that damage, wow. That FBI just got instantly deleted there. Look at that, I think his barrier was up. It's up now, at least while he's dead. So I don't know, maybe there's a couple more seconds on it, but don't even know if that would have made a difference because he got insta-deleted.
It's one of those games where I think, I mean, you're not going to build Zonias ever onto 80 carry, but you really wish you could because...
well, Kaisa can.
Kaisa, true,
so
actually.
There's one 80 carry that has it right there.
Yeah.
Just not the one you were hoping that needs it.
Yes, unfortunately. Let's get another look at that.
All right, so they turn off the lights just to secure the Baron, and then they also could just use the end of Nocturne Ultimate to go delete FBI. And once that Yunar is done, of course they can just run through the jungle here, but yeah, the front line is so beefy. Impact moves up, and Rahel was able to just chase them on down. Nicely done here.
He coached Golden Glue right there.
He looks like he wanted a little more there.
Yeah. Rahel did, now that I got to see it again in the replay, he ulted into the Wukong who was already using the Cyclone. So maybe if he hadn't self-CC'd himself, he could have gotten a little more done. But who's to say, either way, still in favor of Sentinels right now. 10K gold lead as they're pushing Dignitas back to their base. Hambach and Huhi now going back in onto Ignar. They get the Alistair ult, and he still almost dies. Ignar's going to have to walk all the way back. Hit by one Void Seeker. Can he get hit by another one? Oh, no.
Here it comes, the 10,000 gold lead Baron team. All right, Dignitas. You're going to need some magic now. What do you got? Tower's deleted. They're going for it.
Another engage comes in from Hui. Another Nocturne and Paranoia yet again. Palafox does find a shuffle, but it's Zonia's by Rahel. The 80 carry still healthy on Sentinels as Impact is fighting under Nexus turrets. Double kill the Darkwings and a team fight ace to Sentinels. They closed out week 1 with a loss, but they're starting week 2 with a game win. Sentinels go up 1-0 versus Dignitas.
Oriana Nocturne. Very successful.
Very successful.
Very successful here for Sentinels. Nice opener to the series, but we've got another one here. At least one more.
And this is how last week started also. They did pick up game 1 win.
Yeah, don't be a game 1 Andy, as they say.
Well, let's see what the desk has to say about that victory for Sentinels.
Because last week, Sentinels, they came out big, you know, get that win in the first game versus DSG, and then Kangas all fell apart. Can they keep it together?
To fall off.
Can they keep it together?
And we did consider that an upset, me and Jat, when we were casting last week. I still would consider it an upset here, considering the fact that Dignitas, wherever you put them on the power rankings, FBI and Ignar just got in this week. They have the excuse and also the legitimate debuff of jet lag.
Spoiler as well, I'd say 100% of people had Dignitas very low on the power rankings.
I think everybody had Sentinels above them, yeah, at the very least there. So, and Sentinels, again, they were a harder team for me to place coming into the year just because I was like, just on paper, if we look at the peak of these players, yes, I could see them finishing very high, but it's a very full rebuild with really only kind of like Darkwings, Rahel, Hui having that experience together for summer of last year. And Rahel did not look like the standout performer from last week. I really thought that it was more Impact, Hambach, and Darkwings in their game wins. So shout out to the top half of the map, but this time around they did look better.
And honestly, Dignitas here starting out, I think, strong with this draft. First pick Varus. This champ is very strong right now in multiple roles. And I would expect it to go into FBI's hands. It's one of FBI's favorite champions, one of his best champions. So, you know, maybe they do have an opportunity to come back here. Poke Varus is very good. On-hit Varus also is in a decent spot. It just gets played way less. So you almost always expect it to be Poke Varus at the moment. But a couple of globals here for Sentinels. The Taliyah Pantheon, it's a match made in heaven, Kangas, because pre-level 6, you have one of the most goated combos, you know, Pantheon Flash Stun into a Taliyah Seismic Shove combination. And then post-level 6, you have another goated combo with your global ultimates to play the map here. So very, very strong 1-2 from Sentinels. I think the response is the most expected response here for Dignitas, though. Rise into Taliyah is basically the secondary Azir versus Oriana. It's always the next trade. And then the Vi, similar kind of setup there. But with all of the top lanes taken out already of Renekton and Gwen, so you can't Gwen into the Scion, and you even get 2 more protection bans here for Scion if you really want it. I think Scion is a really giga pick for Impact at the moment. There's so much taken out from top lane here for that Photon won't be able to utilize into it. And you can even, like we say, further ban 2 more top lane champions here. Zehen.
Do we get 5 for 5? Because I'm still considering him best at top lane. I know it can be play jungle too, but like, yes, it is a top laner right now.
It's crazy too, because you're like, well, you see Jace, and you're like, you're thinking top lane, but I'm thinking jungle. Jungle Jace right now is out of control, and it's actually getting nerfed on the next patch. So quite happy about that one. Let's see about the rest of it though. Meanwhile, Dignitas here taking out some of the carries that Rahel is going to want to play into Varus. The Sivir Spell Shield and farm isn't there. 5 for 5 on top lane bans.
You know what is still up? Photon played Kled last year in summer. I've been on Kled watch. When is somebody going to pull it out here?
I will always take a Scion on my team over a Kled.
Over a Kled? Okay.
Seeing Kled, I'm not buying that. I am not buying that. Give me the Scion.
They race each other.
Give me the Scion 100% of the time. He tanks way better, and I feel like there are not a lot of scenarios where the Kled can get ahead enough to really snowball to make it worthwhile. Meanwhile, we got poke for poke down there. Ezreal, the answer.
And this opens up Huhi to pick a champion that can roam a lot. We saw the Rakan last game. Now let's see what he wants to pilot this time around here. anytime I see Ezreal, though, I immediately think like this. Junglers love having Ezreal in their games because that means that they're going to have a support in their back pocket. Really, anytime that they call for it, because Ezreal can just lane so safely here. As Dignitas are hovering their other options, it's looking like tank for tank matchup, and it will be the Cassante.
Yep, no-brainer here for Photon. Now, what we need... I mean, I guess we need more engage. Is he going to go on hit Varus because they picked the Scion? Because especially if you're showing Rel or something, like you need the damage.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking he's just gonna go on hit Varus since we're looking at a Scion, because ain't no way Lethality Varus and Ryze are gonna kill a Scion later. You've got Vi actually does decent against beefy tanks.
Yeah,
it's kind of underrated with the passive and with the denting blows, and so.
And Rel can also
it's decent,
shatter
but
shield, so they kind of have two tools now to help take out the Scion. But I still think that on hit, there's a strong argument for it. Poppy, meanwhile, is the answer for Hui here.
Yeah. So you have a decent amount of targets there for him to work with. And Rel, Cassante, and Vi. Massive engage here on the side of Dignitas to answer it back up. Not to mention, that makes it really easy for Varus to land the ultimate there.
And you can see on stage, assistant coach Emmy here, joining us in North America from EU. Over on GX that he was assistant coaching last year. Now, I got to talk with him a little bit during their scrims as well. The team was so confident, so happy to have a coach live with them. It's still the assistant coach. We're waiting on Swiffer, but still having somebody there that can help walk them through draft with a little more kind of that draft prep that they have coming in. When they referenced giving them more confidence on stage too. So shout out Emmy. Still not the ideal position, waiting on that head coach, but I think overall we can see that the drafts are coming together for Dignitas.
All right, see if Sentinels can back this one up, can follow their first win up, and get their first series win.
Yeah.
Because you need it.
Game win
with
would be great.
with this like shortened Swiss, because we only have 8 teams. You really do not want to go 0-2 because you can just get knocked out next week. So very important series here for both teams to not get themselves to the breaking point where next week being elimination, Kangas? That sounds so early. We just started.
3 weeks. It is a shorter split overall, but we did just start,
Yeah, so if you get your win now, it'll feel so much better, way more comfortable. You got a lot more time to work with. You know, we're talking about so many of the teams didn't have players here, didn't get as much practice time, so you got to earn that practice time.
Got to earn it. Got to earn it. So far, Sentinels have looked good. Hui in particular has been a standout for me here. I actually wanted, I asked our stats guy, Leo, to take a look at some stats here for Hui. In particular, win rate for kind of the core. Darkwings, Rahel, Hui were on DSG last year, and I said, hey, can we check the stats from that 3 core, what their win rate was when Hui was on engaged supports versus non-engaged supports. And actually, we did have that stat here. As we're looking actually here at a quote from Palafox. Oh, so actually Palafox didn't believe in this stat, first of all, because I had a hunch that Hui's win rate would be higher, and it is slightly higher, but not that much. And Palafox did highlight on pros that he wasn't a big believer in that. But I think just giving Hui tools to make action happen has allowed for this 3 core to find more success. As now Darkwings pushing in on mid lane here.
Yeah, I mean, it was a very interesting listen because Palafox was not impressed with who he engages at all. And yet, you know, like you, everyone's always looking at him as being on every team that he has been on, such a big playmaker and kind of a critical part, you know, for those engages. And now he is going to be on Poppy, which is an interesting champ, where you don't say, oh, it's not like a main engage, but you have so much utility that you can use. It's more counter engage, like you're blocking a lot of stuff with W, and your ultimate knocking people out for objectives and stuff. And so, like, yeah, you can go for like charge plays on single targets, but you aren't starting the team fight for your team. Like, that is Impact and Hambach. Really, and then you're there to interrupt a lot of dashes, interrupt the Rel, counter-engage, interrupt the Cassante, interrupt the Vi type stuff, and a lot of early aggression with that champion as well.
And I would echo that, yeah, Poppy not primary engage, but still can offer some of those tools. Now Hui has a chance to show what he can do on this pick as well. Right now, the bot lane has the backup of Hambach, or more so, Hambach has the backup of his bot lane, as they got that bot wave shoved in. Pantheon's going to go for the bottom Scuttle Crab, and it looks like XU's just pathing topside. Not going to try and contest that one. Trade of Scuttle Crabs. It's a 3-minute Scuttle Crab, though. We throw for the 6 minutes. Yeah.
Third crab. Everybody get that. I love that interview so much, too, because... Oh, wait, here we go.
We're
Look at the
going
game.
for even more right now. Oh!
Interrupted.
Hui with the W blocking Ignar's crash down. That will get the flash out, as well as the heal. 2 summoner spells down, and top lane now going for their own play here. Photon not going to find the Pathmaker stun onto Impact as he gets knocked back up. The wave helping Impact out here. XU, not sure if he's going to actually full commit. Photon slowed. I mean, Impact's just walking forward. Ooh, Photon barely gets the shield and gets out.
You get a gank, and then Impact just kind of runs him down, gives him a... okay, it was a necessary flash, though, from Impact, because the Vi was coming in with Q charged, and so flash for flash while getting ganked is something you were looking at last game, you know, where Impact got ganked in the 2v1 and went for the counter kill, and so this time around he handles the gank pretty nicely. I mean, he's going to say, hey, Photon flashed as well, so, you know, it's not really a detriment for me, and Impact is also winning the CS pretty early on, and it's important for Sion to get the extra health as well from the Soul Furnace there too. So CS does matter in these tank matchups, Kangas.
Moral of the story, maybe don't gank Impact. He's pretty good at absorbing ganks. As we had kind of talked about it, joked a little bit last game of which version of Impact are we going to get, and so far I think Impact has looked much better in his opening weekends.
Yeah, I mean, especially if he's on Sion in a tank versus tank matchup. Yeah. Because Sion, of course, the champ, most notorious for still getting value, you know, gets back up with zombie form and stuff like that. So definitely, let's take a...
Okay, XU actually gets onto Darkwings, flash away towards Hambach, who actually flashes forward on a Palafox. Split focus from Darkwings and Hambach, and now Hambach's in some trouble. No flash to get away. Lockdown has the shield. He's fighting his way back. XU has to flash defensively. So, Sentinels do actually win out there. FBI, meanwhile, having to walk back to turret, will save the flash. A lot of aggression. Flash from Palafox. Everybody wants to use their summoner spells, but first blood to Dig's mid laner.
Okay. I know everybody watching that has a lot of questions, but we will have to get like a listen in on the comms.
Yeah.
Because clearly Hambach is thinking, it's fine. Like, you come to me, we're baiting, I will flash stun, and you, Talia, seismic shove.
Yeah.
But we also need to like look at the cooldown on the seismic shove. When was it last used before the camera like went back over to it? His range as well. I don't know if we can get a click in on Dark. It has to still be up, and so it's got to be just the range issue because he wasn't in range to follow it up. So that's a split. Like, Hambach is clearly thinking we still go for this combo onto Palafox, but Darkwings was already backing off. Then XU can flash away, but then Palafox knows I've got flash advantage from the earlier play, and Darkwing stays around anyway. He doesn't respect it, and so nice. It's nice here from Palafox to capitalize after the hectic skirmish.
Oh, he's over the wall. Hambach walks up and just steals it with the smite Q on Pantheon. Notorious for being able to outsmite jungle opponents as Weaver's Wall will come in, root it up, can't follow it up, but XU's got 3 on him regardless, so he will fall. Dignitas, they lose the dragon and they lose their jungler in the aftermath, as now 1v1 Photon onto Impact, gets the ultimate out, third and Topho strike back, and he's winning this 1v1 currently. Darkwings, meanwhile, also chunked out. Again, some trigger-happy players on both sides. We came here to scrap in game number 2. Photon will win his 1v1 as Sentinels now look at Palafox. Can't lock him down long enough, and he will walk away.
Yeah, phase rec proc here for him is just going to be fine, but Sentinels, they got a lot of money here right off the back of it. A turret play goes down as well. Hui pops that one. And we get our Photon solo kill in the top side. Yep. So nicely done from him, using the Cassante all out to finish that up. Dignitas, they're up in kills, but down in gold. And as you said, down in dragons, because Pantheon Q smite, it's too much of a combo there. So XU didn't get to see any health below 830 there. So nicely done from Hambach. And then the Talia wall cuts them off so nicely. So even though Talia, gets rune prisoned off the wall, that doesn't matter at all. All he wanted to do was create the wall in the first place. He didn't really care about surfing it. Yep. So the wall did its job there, and it earned them the extra kill. So stealing dragon plus the kill, even though the scoreboard says 2-1 on kills, Sentinels quite happy there with that last run of play. They're like, yeah, Impact died on the top side, whatever, Sion.
I don't think that's going to matter in the grand scheme of things. And just to catch up on some of the questions we had in Pick and Ban, it is most likely going to be Lethality Varus there with the Comet build. So even if Impact dies like 2 more times to Photon solo, I don't think that changes how tanky he's going to be and how impossible he's going to be to kill later on in the game.
Yeah, it should be pretty hard to kill him. You know, Vi's going to do her best, Ryza's going to do her best. Nice juke.
Chain of Corruption goes a little wide. Rahel's able to get out of that one as FBI actually doesn't get knocked up there and is safe. Huhi does not have level 6. So can't fully go for those engages, but we have some hovers from junglers right now. Yeah, Hambach was hovering around the blue buff, but decides to back off.
Okay, well, they deleted the barrier instantly at least, so Ezreal down a little bit of safety there. Meanwhile, did cost them the Varus ultimate. Kind of fish around for that. Regardless, we're gonna be looking at these Dragon timers because Sentinels last game they stacked really quickly. They got to a very early soul for themselves and turned that one into a win quite nicely. Very well could be the case this time around again because they do have Talia plus Pantheon with their global attack ability. And you could even mention Sion kind of in the same breath there, because Sion Ultimate is so useful for the mid-game objectives.
Yeah.
Being able to try and push the lane and then Sion ult down and you could just teleport right back, or vice versa. Regardless though, starting up the Grubs next objective on the map here, and should be able to collect the remaining 2 of them for themselves. So again, very similar. They start out with 2-1 Grubs, they start out with the first Dragon.
Yep. Dignitas not able to secure all of those. They'll just take their 1 and then back off. Hambach will clean up the last 2, and still a slight gold lead for Sentinels. It's going to be hard for Dignitas' composition to really get in on these objectives that we've been highlighting. All out from Photon once again, but this time cannot body block Impact's ultimate, so he does get away from that 3rd and Topho strike. Huhi, meanwhile, hovering top with Hambach because low health bar, maybe a dive potential. Photon does not call XU all the way up, though. Low mana, decides to back off. Oh, okay, maybe sticking around for a little longer.
Yeah, just a little defense there. Make sure Impact doesn't get dove or anything. Finishes up the wave. Poppy recall, reset back out to the other side. Pantheon ult. Where are we going with that Pantheon ult? Because really the people that you want to kill all have flashes still.
Okay.
You know, the Rise and the Varus here.
Yeah.
I would probably stay. Yeah, maybe we still go after the Varus. It's like you're gonna get his flash for sure. You have the Poppy down on that you know, side of the map to like interrupt the rail, counter engage or anything, so you don't have to be too, you know, scared about your engage. So if I'm Sentinels, I want to put more pressure down towards this bottom lane. Burn through FBI's flash. Maybe you can also kill him afterwards.
When you have the Weaver's Wall on top of it all, then that's suddenly a 4v2 bot side because of these semi-globals. So even XU is currently hovering around down there, drops the control ward to clear out some of that vision. Dignitas are prepping for this next Dragon. It's on the table. And usually when I look at a Varus lethality, I think, okay, you kind of want the opponent to start the objective so you can poke them out, or just poke them out before the objective. But when you factor in Poppy ult, you factor in the Weaver's Wall, it can actually be really hard to approach these Dragons, because suddenly if XU gets knocked out of the pit, it's no longer an even fight, and now you, even if you landed a little poke with the lethality Varus, it's just hard to approach for the rest of the team. But no one's going to start up the Dragon quite yet. We actually have resets coming in from Dignitas. So Hambach actually says, all right, let's start it up.
Yeah, Varus has teleport though. So FBI's going to teleport right back on down, and we're going to get the rest of the team converging. So plenty of time for Dignitas to contest this if they want to. And they're going to try and walk their way in. Huhi here.
Very far forward right now, holding that W, nicely timed to stop Ignar, not the ball breaker from XU, and then just Keeper's Verdict knocks them away. So hard to walk up on these objectives. Palafox in the 1v1 versus Darkwings, using the phase rush to try and get onto him, but Darkwings will survive. His team will get their second Dragon, and nobody will fall on either side.
Yeah, well done. And Huhi, double ejection. Now Huhi goes back in.
Yeah, I was looking for the stun on the wall there, didn't quite find it, but Hambach now follows up with a stun onto XU. Keeper's Verdict does not lock down the vault breaker, and now turn back into Hambach. He's taking a lot of damage here from Palafox, but even with the Shattering Strike, Photon now joins in. Hambach gets the kill on the Palafox. Huhi will be traded. 1-for-2 trade in favor of Sentinels. Dignitas even committing their top laner to the play.
Yeah, so they teleport in. Impact also comes, but he just had to use his ulti. He didn't have to use his teleport, so he can just clean up the bottom wave immediately. Not only do Sentinels win and get their extra kill here in the team fight, but they also get the push on the lanes afterwards. Impact going to push the minion wave on bottom side, and I believe he's getting turret plate money as we speak during this replay. So flash for fast going in on the engage. Here we see Impact's gonna walk his way over, and he actually is not able to get the ultimate onto the arrival of Photon, but Hambach going ham in there. They get the extra kill, and as you know, more money earned for the team in the aftermath too.
Okay, I have TP advantage.
Yep, TP advantage for the next play.
Yeah, Sundered Sky is a great item on Pantheon, everybody.
Pretty good healing still. They nerf it, still good.
Doesn't matter. He's able to get that huge chunk of health back and survive that fight. Now, Palafox, ooh, okay. Spots out Darkwings. Not going to be too punished right there. But yeah, 3-3 in the kill department, but the Dragon stacking still in favor of Sentinels. That was game 1 story, it's game 2 story as well. They've been very, very clinical about how they want to approach these, and it came down to exactly what we are highlighting from the draft. It's just Huhi on the Poppy, knocking everyone away. They're getting the Dragon, and yeah, they'll pick up some kills in the aftermath too, but the big objective is just that second Drake, starting the stacking early as 3 minutes for the next one, 30 seconds until that Rift Herald. So far, Dignitas have yet to really find themselves with a neutral objective advantage, only having 1 grub in their pocket right now.
Yeah, honestly, Kangas, I don't really see it with this comp for Dignitas either. So I think their job is like kind of difficult, and we'll see if they can maybe make some picks or something. They've got Vi plus Varus possibilities, some weird realm warps maybe from Palafox, but honestly, even inside lane, Darkwings is getting the push early, and he's got his team kind of hovering to protect him as well.
Yeah, and again, if Talia ever gets that push, you can always Weaver's Wall to the rest of the team. Suddenly, that side lane push isn't the problem. It's the fact that there's a number advantage. Sentinels will start up this Herald now. Dignitas, they have a couple of members around here, but Photon's not there. Remember, there is TP advantage for Impact, so if Sentinels need to fight, they will have their top laner. Impact actually backs off, so the TP threat is real. Dignitas, they don't even get a chance to walk up. Poke's not landing from FBI, and that is a Herald secured for Sentinels.
Yeah. Pretty good here for Impact as well. He doesn't have to leave that tower. That would be a lot of loss of value, and they definitely would have had to get some kills. So just waiting to see if there was any full commitment up there. And since they don't, free Herald. Hambach has been quite good, I have to say, at fully controlling objectives, keeping the team on pace. Here we go with Palafox's attempt on Darkwing's life, but both teams have some extra members.
Oh, we're committing to this right now as the Seismic Shove lands from Darkwings. Big damage on the Palafox, so he can't follow up on XU's engage. Ultimate use from the Vi to no effect.
Yeah, nicely done there. Kind of screening for each other.
Ooh! Now we have the Weaver's Wall coming down. Hambach trying to block the escape path of XU and Ignar. Even Rahel joining in. And another Seismic Shove from Darkwings to find a kill. Rahel with the credit. Darkwings with the setup.
Yeah, Sentinels looking pretty good here. Honestly, it's quite clean. They have got lots of mobility to work with, lots of synergy as well. Poppy and Natalia both working quite nicely together there on top of it. And Rahel with some double buffs now on Ezreal. Trinity Force double buffs Ezreal. That's feeling pretty good. I mean, yeah, his Muramana's not like fully transformed yet, but it's going to be pretty soon as well. And then you get your double item power spike for the Ezreal, and your pokes just hidden like a truck. So yeah, Sentinels are in a very good spot here with their comp.
And I will say, I'll be the first to admit, when it comes to Darkwings as a player, I even mentioned this last week. I said it coming into this series. I was like, maybe a bit of a Champool issue. The Azir looks great. Some of the control mages look good, but when he's not on Azir, I think that there is a different level of performance that we get from Darkwings. He's playing incredibly well right now in the Talia.
He also did have a pretty big hero Azir play.
Exactly, just last week. As right now, Dignitas are scrapping here. The Realm Warp comes in. Palafox immediately stunned, knocked up, but the team is still there to keep him safe. Meanwhile, Huhi knocks 2 members away. Another Seismic Shove onto XU. Sentinels mid laner is just clinical with these. Always finding the picks, always finding the kills, and now another one. Double kill to Darkwings. as one picked up from Impact as well. Sentinels just cannot lose these fights.
Yeah, I think Darkwings is a real good NA prospect here. He's looking real good.
Oh, yeah.
This turret definitely going to be deleted. Dragon be deleted. That's number 3 for Sentinels. Another really early Dragon Soul point for them. And this game more in hand than the previous one. Darkwings here, even going to cruise up towards the top side of the map, get there quicker so he can get in time for the minion wave. Thank you, Harold, for the little drive. And they get to basically control the entire map, push the top wave, get the dragon at the same time.
For Sentinels, it feels like things are starting to come together, despite the fact that they didn't have the roster for many days ahead of last weekend's matches. They still picked up a game win versus Disguise. This time around, it's looking like they don't want to drop a single game versus Dignitas. Very impressed with Darkwing's solo lane performance here in the mid lane, and even the rest of the team's definitely stepping up. Impact showing what he is truly capable of, he roaming everywhere on the map, this time to Darkwings in the top lane. Is not going to have enough lockdown to kill Palafox, but still sending a message. And yeah, everything's coming together.
Message received. Hambach here as well can, just in time to defend the control ward. Very important here. Nice little movement. Honestly, objective bounties, maybe you can like dream big if you're Dignitas and try and make a side lane play to get an objective bounty, but let's take a look at this.
Even Photon, the one member that has some gold in his pocket, he's getting teleported on by Darkwings in a 1v2 here as Impact's trying to lock him down with the Talia in tow. Photon trying his absolute best for the outplay, flashes over the knockup, but doesn't have the damage to get the kill, so Darkwings will get the kill credit for himself.
Cassante was about to Cassante all over them, but did not.
Yeah, I mean, Photon, heart goes out to him. He's been trying his absolute hardest in all of these games that Dignitas has played so far. And when I talked to all the players on Dig and was saying, hey, what do you want the audience to think about you? He had a simple answer. He said, I just want to be consistently good. Whether the team's winning or losing, I individually want to be consistently good as a top laner. And I got to say, I mean, he's drawing pressure. He's getting these kills for himself. And even last week was looking great on the Kennen. So shout out Photon. I think that he is a fantastic pickup for the region in the top lane overall.
All right. Meanwhile, back to business as usual for Sentinels. They get the bottom side kill. Impact immediately up to the top side of the map. Get that top tower taken care of as well. And then with all the outer towers down, they can bait around Baron, and they are well equipped to do so. Your pick potential is crazy there with Pantheon, Talia, Poppy here, creating so much threat. And Dignitas, their #1 goal now is, all right, let's try and keep enough defensive vision that we can just go for one of those Baron steals Kangas was talking about.
Can XU do it again?
He did get a Baron steal. It didn't mean that they won the game, but it was cool.
It was cool.
It does, it's better than not stealing Baron.
I think, yeah, if you asked any jungler, as a jungler, you can probably attest to this, stealing feels better than not stealing. Although, actually, what feels best is when you just get it without having any steal in the situation at all.
Winning feels the best, but especially if you stole the Baron to act and then you win the game because of it. Yeah, then everyone's complimenting you, and that's the best.
How close is it, though, the feeling between stealing a Baron versus winning the steal attempt? If you're like, nope, I got it, team, don't worry.
Huh?
Are they close, comparable?
Stealing versus winning the steal attempt?
Yeah, like if the enemy jungler is trying to steal it.
Oh.
Yeah. I imagine the steal has to feel better, because that's like the more pop-off.
Yeah, I guess they're the same. Both of them are getting the Baron when the other person's contesting it.
I think moral of the story, Baron's good, and currently Sentinels have the control
stealing is
it.
probably better just because the amount of your happiness was probably very low.
Oh, the
because
spike,
you
the
were
delta.
losing.
The hype delta
exactly.
Is better.
The delta is larger because you were probably just getting pounded for a while.
Well,
and then you steal, and you're like, "Wow, we're probably still gonna lose."
Well, yeah, that was the story from last week. But that was a 10K gold deficit. This time around, it's only 5K gold deficit. But Sentinels still have that Dragon Soul a minute away from now. They don't have to go for the Baron immediately. They can actually leave that up and just go for the Dragon Soul instead. As instead they're just gonna make a play here onto Palafox. Pops the Ghost. Hambach gets in with the stun as the rest of Dignitas are here. Teleport in as well. Hambach Now needs the backup of the team who will teleport in themselves. Flashes away from the crash down. Photon gets in with FBI right as the Huhi ejects XU. Photon not quite out of there. FBI could be in some trouble right now. Has the flash available. Weaver's wall, he's stunned up. He can't even get out of there. FBI goes down just like Dignitas' chances. Double kill to Hambach. The Pantheon coming online. 7K gold lead with 3 kills donated over and a triple to the jungler. Sentinels won't even need this Baron to start the tier 2 turret siege.
No, they are making quick work of Dignitas this time.
Yeah.
This game is far out of Dignitas' reach. Not only is the Baron, but the Dragon Soul is about to come up in 2 seconds as well. So you can take the Baron, Baron-empowered recall, respec, send all of the money that you just got from killing Dignitas and taking the Baron, then go to Dragon Soul fight, and hopefully they can get there in time. We'll see with the Baron-empowered recalls. I don't think that Dignitas could rush the Dragon Soul while we're in this replay, but maybe they just... Okay, we get nice. We got a little picture-in-picture here we can check. Yeah, they're not going to full send it. Maybe they could get the crab vision or something.
So catching what happened here on the side, FBI teleports in and then gets headbutted back by Huhi towards the team. He had flash available, but that was just, you know, Huhi, again, having target selection. Now back to live, though. Dragon is on the table. It is the soul for Sentinels. Photon's trying to create some pressure here on the side with the help of Ignar. Poke Varus is going to have to land some big poke here, because in the all-in team fight, definitely with that lethality, Varus have already prepped some of that damage. One arrow will land. XU on the flank here as well. Huki spots him out. Now XU back over the wall into the pit. Ignar Hex flashes that wall. And now everyone's just front to back for Dignitas.
Look at Talia, though.
Minions are mid.
Talia's not front to back. She's taking mid lane right now, so Dignitas feel the pressure.
They have the numbers advantage, but FBI actually gets chunked out from Rahel over the wall there. Now the Weaver's wall. FBI is on the correct side this time around. Engage on the Dark Wings. Ignar can't quite land it, and he goes down. Rahel still getting the safety on the side. FBI will die, and another flick back for Dark Wings on a rampage as he will claim Palafox yet again. Rahel still surviving the fight, and Sentinels don't even need that dragon. They just walk up with their Baron-empowered cannon wave here in the mid lane, looking for even more kills. They'll find Photon. Dark Wings unstoppable. 5-1-7 for the young mid laner of Sentinels. They built a new roster around this kid and having a fantastic Game 2 here of Week 2.
And I gotta say, Hambach was locked in this game.
Yep.
That Pantheon was nasty. So many plays started up, so many plays also finished by him. Really impressed as well with Hambach. So Sentinels, with everything that they could possibly want, with their luxury of the entire map under their control.
We're running the stay tuned for an interview with Huhi if Sentinels wins. I've never seen that
I was just about to ask for another Huhi listening, because the comms listening we got before, he was so hyped.
Yeah.
Is he as hyped now when they're winning fights and they're 13K gold up, or is it like, yeah, we should win these? Because they're still fun-looking fights.
They are. They are. I think that's the best way to describe them, Kobe. We're having fun.
For the Sentinels side.
For Sentinels.
Yeah.
And Sentinels fans, I imagine, because they've very patient for their first win here. Week 1 did not go their way, but it's looking very solid here in week number 2. For an organization, they were Phoenix 1 originally when they were in the LCS. Then Sentinels takes over the brand, and now they're back in the LCS, but this is technically Sentinels' first time playing here, and this will be their first series win if they can close it out. Dignitas are going to have to try and defend up on the top side while Photon's pushing in this bottom wave. At least there's no more Baron push.
Yeah, look, Photon's recalling too, so he can't even get the tower goal. They don't even get the dopamine of an objective bounty exploding and hearing the noise and the gold cash in.
Yeah, you do it for the dopamine right there, but now he's on the other side of the Weaver's wall, the sole member here. Very tanky on the Cassante, so Sentinels cannot quite all in onto him. Instead, they're just starting to hit this turret. As Dignitas throw out the Chain of Corruption, FBI not gonna land it, Impact side steps. And now no engage tool there for the AD carry. Sentinels just continue the siege.
Yeah. I mean, Huhi's Poppy has been really good too. He's had quite a good game on this Poppy. A lot of good ultis, a lot of good W.
Oh, FBI could be in some trouble right now with the knockup lands from Impact. He's flicked back from Dark Wings. The setup, the knockdown, 80 carry out of there. Sentinels again executing onto the one target everybody communicated that time around. And now with a 4-man defense here onto Sentinels push, it's looking dire. Under the turret, they're just getting slaughtered. XU goes back in, but the carries are falling around him. Sentinels holding strong in week 2 as I look to pad the stats a little bit here at the end. Dignitas just cannot hold the line. Sentinels stand strong. Will they dive the fountain? That's the question on the mind. Sentinels looking for one more here onto the mid laner. Can they take down Palafox? They can. One more stands, one more to fall. Take him down for the ace. Claim the life of Photon. Welcome to the LCS. Sentinels win their first series.
2-0 over Dignitas.